Many people had to leave for work in the coal mines, knowing they might not come back. When accidents happened, families would arrive at the hospital only to find out their loved ones were injured or killed. It was common for miners to take time off after a disaster, but many couldn't afford to. The dangerous conditions made it hard to work in safety. Hello, my name is Arash and you are watching my Business English channel, Business English playlist. On this video we want to talk about work routines. As you watched in the previous slide, leave for work. This is one expression that we want to put into practice. To leave for, to arrive at, to take time off, and to work in. And this text is about the miners, people who have difficult jobs in mines. It is said that mining is the most difficult job in the world. Do you agree or not? Apparently, it must be really dangerous based on this text. Okay, now let's dive in. Buckle up to advance your business English. First, how do you say I have a job? You may say I work, so work here is a verb. Or you can say I have work, so work here is a noun. And you may also say I'm in work. It means I have a job. The economy is growing fast and more people are in work. It means nowadays more and more people have jobs. It means more people have a job than ever before. So this is how you say you have a job. Now let's learn how to talk about your job, your work routines. I work in a bank in New York City. So I work in a place. When you use work with a preposition in, it means you're working in a big area or a field. The focus of your job is on some area or field of study, for example, or field of management, for example. Here in represents a place or a big area, a bank in New York City. I leave for work, it means I leave home and I go to work. When you leave somewhere and go to another place, you leave your home and go to a destination, you may say I leave for. So I leave for work at 7:30 every morning. I go to work by train and subway. Go to work. I get to the moment that you reach, the moment you are at your workplace. You say I arrive at. I arrive at work at about 9. I'm usually at work till 6. And then you leave work. So this is how you can talk about your work routines. Luckily, I don't get ill very much, so I don't often take time off work due to illness. What does it mean to take time off? It means you don't go to work because you are ill. Maybe you call your boss and you say, "Hello boss, today I'm very ill and I cannot come to work." And you take a day off. You stay at home, you rest in order, for example, your illness to recover. So you don't go to work, you take time off. You take a day off, you take 2 days off. You can also take time off in order to go to a trip or to go on a holiday, go on a vacation. American vacation, holiday, British. I don't often take away from work, so take time off work means take away from work. These two expressions are synonyms to each other. Are you ready for a challenge? We have some prepositions and we want to put these prepositions in the blanks. Let's start. Rebecca lives in London and works in public relations. You see, you use work with in for a large area. I have another video in which I teach you how to use phrasal verbs with work, like work in, work for, work on, and you can learn that. You can watch the video by clicking on the link above. So, Rebecca lives in public relations. It means the area the field that she works. She leaves home for work. She leaves home for work at 7:30 a.m. She drives to work. She drives to work. The traffic is often bad and she worries about getting to again work, because you're talking about the destination, to work later. But she usually arrives at work. She usually arrives at work at around 9. She finishes work quite later, at about 8. Luckily, I'm never ill, she says. I could never take time off work. It means take time away from work. She loves what she does. She is glad to be in work. It means to have the job. Some of her friends are not so lucky. They are out of work. Now, this is new. When someone has a job, we say the person is in work. But when the person doesn't have a job, we say the person is out of work. In work, have a job. Out of work, without a job. Jobless. A reading for you. During the Great Depression, families had to leave for the city in search of jobs. When they would arrive at the factories, they often found terrible working conditions. Many workers needed to take time off due to exhaustion or illness. But if they did, they risked losing their jobs. It was a struggle to work in such harsh environments just to survive, because they couldn't continue out of job. They couldn't be out of work. They needed to be in work. Now let's put that language in use. A pilot may say, I usually leave home at 4:30 and I leave for work at 4:30. So you use leave for plus destination. The first flight is at 6 and I usually arrive at the airport at 5. I arrive at. I don't take a lot of time off work. So the pilots always get to work. I like flying too much. And what about an office job? I'd like to do something that involves working with other people. The person is talking about their interests. I'd like to work in a job with a regular routine where I can leave home at 8 and know that I'll get back at 6. A nice, comfortable office job would be nice. Now I want you to talk about your work routines, if you do have a work, and if you don't have a work, talk about your interests. What kind of work routines would you like to have? And drop your answers in the comment section below. This exercise helps you to master what you have learned on this video so far. The percentage of people out of work has fallen to its lowest level for 30 years. It means more and more people are in work these days. So, out of work means without a job. Out of work means without a job, as you see here. Ready for round 2? Watch this video again in order to reinforce yourself with the tips I taught you on this video and boost your English in business.